Are we back in the bull run? Bitcoin just broke 29K for the first time in 12 months. Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and Citadel, along with other global financial institutions, are entering the market very strong. And remember, for the last 3 years, July has brought us green candles and blue skies. Are we about to go 4-0? The weekly setup looks exactly the same as it did in those previous years. The biggest difference is that there is way less drama in the market. As a matter of fact, this is the most positive I've seen the space in a long time. Bitcoin opened today just above 29,000. This rally is fresh, so it may take a couple days before alts really catch the draft. We have to watch how Ethereum acts from here. Last couple of cycles, that's how it usually goes. When ETH moves, altcoins follow. Fundamentally, a lot of money is about to come into the space. How will it affect our portfolios? Well, you're watching DHN. It's time to talk crypto. So let's start with the latest. A group of the largest financial companies in the world are backing the new EDX Digital Asset Securities Exchange. The list of investors from the first funding round include Citadel Securities, Fidelity Digital Assets, Charles Schwab, Paradigm, Sequoia Capital, and Virtue Financial. Now, initially, the assets that will be traded on this platform include Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. These are the only assets that have ever been given any type of clearance when it comes to the SEC or the CFTC. Now, I remember in last week's episode, we addressed the question, which cryptos have already been giving that type of clearance? Well, it seems that the answer keeps getting in front of us, guys. So, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash seem to be the only assets that are cleared at this point. That's very interesting. A lot of people get on Bitcoin Cash, but when you look around the payments landscape, I do see that asset a lot. According to the Wall Street Journal, Citadel Securities themselves will be a large trader with this new platform. Along with BlackRock and Vanguard, Citadel is that third company that owns the entire world. So if they're about to start trading crypto, that would explain why the market has gotten so excited. And then when you add this little nugget on top of all of that, Deutsche Bank has now registered themselves with BaFin, which is Germany's financial regulator. And basically what they want to do is allow for crypto asset custody, crypto asset services. They want to become registered so that way they can also start trading crypto. Now, my thinking on this is that if the largest bank in your country wants to get into crypto, then you let them get into crypto. And then you also have to backtrack a couple years. The Germany financial bodies, I can't get back into the specifics. The story came out a couple years back, but Germany made this possible with a deal that allowed their institutions to allocate a certain percentage towards digital assets. We are now starting to see those things unfold. And then here's another thing you can think about too. The projects that are close to Deutsche Bank and the DSW group, they are now going to get top tier access. That's the best way that I can put it. We have some altcoin news too that shows you progress is also moving in that sector. This one kind of shocked me. Well, I got two shockers actually. First, Binance has incorporated the Lightning Network. Now, the original reason that they did this had to do with the fact that once the ordinals went live on Bitcoin that brought NFTs, meme coins, and basically the ability to create assets on Bitcoin, it increased the transaction volume on the network. Binance was having a little bit of trouble dealing with that, so they had to switch over to the Lightning Network. Binance is now running a Lightning Network. No, this means that Bitcoin transactions through Binance are going to be twice as fast. That's why they call it Lightning, because it's lightning speed. But here's something else that a lot of people don't talk about when we bring up the Lightning Network. The Lightning Network also gives you access to create your own separate payment channel. So if Binance, with its global reach, wants to set up a new payment platform in a very small, not talked about economy, still, rising economy, they could do it at the press of a button now because they're running a node. That is going to be major, guys. The Lightning Network, you want to keep your eye on that because that's an aspect of Bitcoin adoption I really believe as we enter this payments era, that's how Bitcoin is going to reach 60, 70, 80. It's going to have a large part from the Lightning Network, pretty much. Now, the next surprise that I discovered this week, Energy Web and Polkadot, ladies and gentlemen, they are coming together. So what's going on? Energy Web originally started out on Ethereum. It was in ERC20. That's why whenever you go to try to store the token, buy it, you always have to go through Ethereum. Well, that is about to change, ladies and gentlemen. As of this week, the Energy Web Foundation has announced that they plan on migrating to Polkadot. Now, Energy Web already has a parachain on Polkadot. This is allowing Polkadot to share a lot of their functionality and resources with Energy Web. But now Energy Web has decided to just go full force. The problem was on Ethereum, when clients set up applications for Energy Web, someone from Energy Web often has to be there to manage it whenever they need to use it. And if we're dealing with energy, you're talking about 10 to 12 hours a day. When they move to Polkadot, it will allow them to create a single interface that all of their clients can log on to, check their data, get the information they need, and be about their business. This way, no one from Energy Web has to be in constant direct contact. They'll still have contact, but you have to think about it this way in the terms of scalability. Always having to be present at each individual station prevents you from expanding to more stations. With Polkadot, Energy Web is going to be able to do that same thing. So if you look at Polkadot's ecosystem and the strength of it, and you also take into account that Polkadot, in relation to the security situation, is technically a software, and Energy Web just ported themselves onto that software. So I think we can add Energy Web as another one of those SEC safe cryptos. Just something to keep an eye on. But that's big news for Energy Web and Polkadot. I actually have succumbed to my wife's wishes and got another bag of Polkadot. So that's her favorite asset. I'm starting to see why. She's smart. She's smart. So we're going to break off into something a bit more serious. We're talking BRICS. They have an annual meeting coming up in August, and the number one talking point on their agenda is this new currency. Now, I have been doing a lot of digging in preparation for this BRICS crypto checklist. Oh yeah, there is one. And what I am seeing is that it's not the BRICS currency that is looking to usurp the dollar. What the BRICS nations have is something called foreign direct investment. And for the last decade, most of the foreign direct investment has gone into and stayed within the BRICS. Now, what I am starting to see is that these same channels often are very closely related to where crypto projects are operating. Let me explain. Bangladesh, Egypt, Turkey, Iran, Bahrain, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates have all expressed interest in joining BRICS. I have been in this space for 3 years officially with this channel as of June, 4 years prior, all together. These are the nations that are leading adoption of crypto assets, especially if you're holding projects like XRP. We know all too well about Indonesia and Bahrain and Bangladesh. So I just did a video that is going to come out this week about IOTA. They were literally just sitting down with the UAE's Minister of Foreign Trade. This is a catalyst that's forming. All right. So this first segment, I'm just basically exposing you to the idea. The episode will dive further into the entire situation. But ladies and gentlemen, it's not their threat to the US dollar that we should be concerned about. It's the route they're going to take to get there. Because I am in agreement with the majority. The US dollar, it ain't going nowhere in the near term. Okay, it's still going to take at least 20 years. I can believe that. It's going to take at least 20 years before we see, a currency war. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. I'm just saying it's going to take a lot more time than a lot of headlines are trying to make us feel. We are missing that catalyst in the middle, though. There's a lot of discussion with BRICS nations about the development of their digital economies. They published a full 84-page report about it in 2021. What I'm trying to show you guys, and what we're going to talk about in that episode, is the connections that are clear as day. Okay? These are clear as day. And if the BRICS nations are going to be the ones to basically support this next bull run, knowing which assets have already been working with these nations for a number of years, it's going to put you in the right position. And that's all I'm trying to do, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm trying to do, is put us in the right position, because this space is moving 100 miles a minute. So we got to stay vigilant. That's why I'm going to start doing this BRICS watch until August. In August, they're going to come out with a decision, and then we'll know from there. But that's all I got for this one. Of course, if you found value, there's a couple of things I need you to do for me. Hit that like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so that way you don't miss the next episode. And as always, I want you to have a great day. Have a prosperous day. Most importantly, if that money is digital, and we can see that it is, so is the hustle. My name is Wade Teamer, and I'll see you in the next episode.